Here's another video continuing on. Um, Again, I published my book, House on the Hill. Here's the actual book, A Metaphysical Journey into the Glass Bead Game. As I mentioned before, I put this together in 4 days, which is a living I Ching open system reference book of many of the great minds that have studied existence and reality and God and the self and the mind. And I listed about 50 or 75 guys and topics in here, but there's so many more that could be included and are included in the glass bead game. Um, what I want to talk about, there's 5 branches of philosophy: metaphysics, epistemology, which is theory of knowledge, metaphysics being the study of existence, ethics, um, politics, and aesthetics. Ayn Rand's view of all these, her metaphysics was an objective realism. Her epistemology was reason, the mind. Ethics was self-interest, we've talked about so many times. Her politics was capitalism, but really it's freedom. And aesthetics, which was the appreciation of beauty. And this is the subjective part of existence that I really wanted to talk about in this video. This is the most important of all of them, because this gives it meaning and appreciation and a reason to live, and the beauty and the euphoria of living and appreciation of existence. Just to jump back here a little bit, going back to the mind, and in quantum mechanics, again, you have, through the double slit experiments, the collapse of the wave function. So the mind creates reality. And that is just at the foundation of everything in my thinking, is that the common conception is that God created man and the universe, and everything flowed from there. And what I'm experimenting with right now is turning that around and putting man created God and the universe, and actively creates the universe. And based on this theory of quantum mechanics, pursuing that idea, um, again, you go back to this yin and yang scenario of being and non-being, of here's space and time and existence all within this, and outside of this, as Douglas Hofstadter and Kurt Gödel stated, that this reason for being and explanation of being has to be this God or something non-material, non-space-time, non-being. So what I'm experimenting with right now is just the totality of all of this together, and I'm trying to think of a name for this, and I'm sure there's one that exists, but I may create my own, because really it's this yin and yang um, of being and non-being, the matter and the spirit, uh, man and God, and everything in its totality, um, that is existence and the universe and so forth. So I'm trying to think of a name for that. But what I really want to talk about is this aesthetics, which is really interesting, and I have talked about beauty is truth, truth, beauty, and what's all involved with that. You have art, and we've talked about art as being something that cannot be defined, so it's unlimited. So that's kind of an interesting concept. We've talked about beauty, what makes something beautiful, um, a view of mountains, going to Rome and seeing the beauty of Rome, sunrise in the morning, or any other beautiful thing or event or um, musical piece or so forth. And this gives life this flavor, this makes life interesting. Part of that is a creativity within it, creating art, but there's also just the appreciation of it as well. And I think within this subjective area, and going back to the mind, uh, the self and the reality and the creation of reality, it is this subjective view of the universe um, that gets to this perfection. Um, and it's all of those things that make life wonderful, such as love and euphoria, and all of those things that you can't really quantify and and put down in a scientific journal necessarily of, so 1 + 1 = 2, or this is what love and creativity and beauty is. It's this subjective nature to the universe. So it's really going back to this mind again, and that creates this beauty and the universe, and your mindset of how you view the universe and appreciate each and every day and each moment and so forth. So I'm experimenting with that, and it's possibly may even lead to some kind of a solipsism or narcissism. I've been using these words lately. Um, that just this unique house on the hill reality that Andre Gregory talked about these sanctuaries where um, this totality of existence and this subjective nature of it that is so important, that you can create your own state of nirvana.